not just perfect, she's truly perfect. And that is gone. That's a great backhanded effort. Good afternoon and welcome to softball action right here, West Beach, South Australia in Adelaide. We're on camera. Wave to the camera out at Centrefield Lee, and I've just introduced to the call team to my left here, Kathy Lambert, and all the statewide super special comments from Lee Hull. Good afternoon, Kathy and Lee.
Good afternoon. Great to have you joining in today, and it's finally nice to say we've got really great conditions here down at West Beach. Perfect in terms of temperature, heat, cold, but also the wind. Very little wind out here, so I'm anticipating it'll be a great game weather-wise.
Yes, it should be, and the only time they've met these two teams was early on, and it was a 0-0 ball game, so we'd expect nothing less, and this is a perfect day to play compared with Wednesday night when it was rather warm.
What I love about you two is that you're right on it from the start. I've got all my notes in front of me. You've stolen my thunder, but that is no worries because it's a perfect introduction to what should be an absolutely cracking game between the West Torrens Eagles and the Walkerville Cats. Well, if we have a look at some key players in the lineup, you will have to admit that the two pitchers would dominate any list of key players in any competition because they are both superstars of the game. Jesse Dresick for the Walkerville Cats and Steph Trzynski for the Eagles.
Yeah, both having a super season so far, even though it's just early days, but so little runs against for both pitchers. Multiple strikeouts, many strikeouts every single game. So yeah, they're on fire. It's going to be a really great game from a pitcher's point of view. Lee?
Yeah, and you mentioned about how strong they've been, how on top of the game they've been, because there's only been 3 runs scored against Steph and 11 against Jesse. That tells a story in itself.
Exceptional defence. That's obviously what is the main game for the West Torrens Eagles. They have, as we say most weeks that they're the best infield defence in the competition. There is an out though today. Sophie Hoyle is at a wedding, so if you've got a break in between a reception and ceremony, Sophie, we'll say g'day to you. But Lee, who's the in for her debut appearance for the West Torrens A grade?
First full game for Mary Elise Fuss, so good luck to her. Young player coming through the ranks, gets her opportunity because Sophie being at the wedding, James. And so that'll be interesting, and that leaves Melissa DeGrief out in the outfield at right field, and Jackie Beale goes around to centre field.
We might go through defensive lineups when they go out for their warm-up. And nil or draw, as you mentioned, the only time these two teams faced. Eagles are undefeated. They do have 3 draws, and they sit atop of the ladder on 15 points. Walkerville second with 11 points. They've played 1 extra game than Sturt. So should Sturt win today's game, should Walkerville lose this one, Sturt might jump ahead. So there's plenty to play for the Cats, particularly seeing as that they went down to a red-hot Glenelg last Saturday, red-hot Port Adelaide, I should say. It's they won in an upset. They were leading 3-0, Walkerville Cats, going into the last inning, and then they gave up 4 runs for an upset win to Port Adelaide. Hey, just want to give a special shout-out to Kevin Tannenbring. He's the plate umpire today, and he's just given me the reminder, affectionately known as Julpy, from the participants in the Far Northwest Sports League and the APY lands, reminded me that Mutijulu up out at Yulara, the Mutijulu Cats that play in the Far Northwest Sports League, are the sister club of the Walkerville Cats. So hello to Mutijulu. They play just in the shadow of Ayers Rock. So how about that for a backdrop to your softball diamond?
Yeah, it'd be very awesome to be up there to watch a game, and particularly probably around sunset time, Lee, we were mentioning before. It would be such a beautiful backdrop. So very lucky for those players up there in that area.
Walkerville Cats are going through their 5 warm-up pitches. Jesse Dresick pitching to Chelsea Robinson. Sophie Roberts at first base, Desi G. Morellis at third, Ash Merkin at second, Ash Merkin at third, Sophie King at shortstop, You had the outfielders for us, Lee.
Hayley Benythan at left, centre field's Bianca Ramsey, and Ash George at right. 3 young players with a lot of talent.
Leading off for the West Torrens Eagles is the Travelodge Aussie Spirit representative herself, Jordan Lambert. Just waiting on Jill P himself. Plate umpire Kevin Tannebring calls play. This one's fired inside. It's low, but it's right there for the first strike of the game. Lambert looks quite settled and running bunt attempt. Jessie Dressick will field this one. She's got a long reach. It's hard to beat her, guys.
Yeah, 6'4", is it? 6'3"? Absolutely. She definitely has a long reach, so you have to be, with your placement for anything around Jessie's going to have to be really good.
Well, you haven't asked for predictions in this game, James, so I'll give you one. I've picked Walkerville 3-1. Big call.
Big call, and you know what? I'm thinking Walkerville are going to want to are coming out pretty strong and wanting to put last week's game behind them and show that they're certainly worthy of closing games off, as we know they are. But I'm still going to maybe just tip West Torrens by 1 run.
Faith Picard is the hitter for the Eagles. Always good to get the tip because if anyone's going to be close with a prediction, it's going to be Lee and obviously Kathy's insight as well as the Glenelg assistant coach. Just gives you a little bit better understanding of the opposition, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And none of these teams in front of us here are, there's nothing in there that's an easy opportunity. They're strong on the defense, they're strong on the offense. So yeah, a win is a good win.
Check swing from Faith Picard, just up and out of the zone, but a strikeout is the result as first base umpire Ian Gray has asked the question. Yes, she did swing, was how he responded when asked the question. So that's 2 out, 2 quick outs, and West Torrens' third hitter is Lana Kaiser.
Lana's been on fire with the bat lately. So be nice if she can get about a 2-down rally going on here.
Swing and a miss at the first pitch. I saw her in the indoor training facility we have here at West Beach just before her team warm-up started. So she's just getting a couple of extra cuts in. I see Dressick doesn't even look like she's got out of first gear yet and fires that one in at 108 kilometres an hour.
The thing I like about the Eagles, James and Kathy, is they don't mess around with their batting order. People stay in the same positions. The crux of the batting order remains the same. That gives you continuity.
Kaiser's popped this one up to shortstop Sophie King for the third out. Takes that quite comfortably. And after the top half of the first inning, it is 3 up, 3 down, and Walkerville look settled. They look comfortable. They look confident, but they're not getting ahead of themselves. Perhaps that's probably something that they want to just put in the rack this week after leading 3-0 going into the last inning to be overrun by Port Adelaide last Saturday.
Yeah, it's a great learning curve that the game's not finished till it's finished. So, don't get too far ahead of yourself, and not until the umpire says time and game. But yeah, you just need to be in it right from start to finish.
West Torrens have taken the diamond for their 5 warm-up pitches, and we'll get the great man himself, softball SA life member Lee Hull, to take us through the lineup.
Well, thank you, James. Well, the battery, Steph Trzynski to Faith Pickard, and let's give credit to Faith. She's stepped up the plate here doing the catching this year, and catching a person like Steph is not easy. Around the diamond, first base Kelsey Nucky, second base Mary Elise Fuss, good luck to her. Third base Lana Casey, in the hole at shortstop Jordan Lambert, and the outfielders, the people in the deep, Amy Wheeler at left, Jackie Bill at centre, Melissa DeGrief at right.
So no Alicia Marchink as well?
No, Lisa Marching, yes, we didn't mention that. Been a very consistent player this year, and her batting will be missed today. It's the same with Sophie Hoyle, so that's what influenced me to think it may be a 2-run victory to Walkerville.
And it looks like from first glance as well, Lee, that the Walkerville lineup is fairly consistent as well, similar to the West Torrens one.
They are, and they are a very strong batting lineup.
Well, the 5 warm-up pitches are run and done, so we will get underway for the bottom half of the first inning. We'll check in with social media as well, so say g'day if you're watching around the world. Steph Trzynski, guys, just 3 runs against for the season. Her, well, let's say worst result so far for the year was 2 runs in a 2-all draw against the bottom team, Seacombe Tigers. Other than that, just a solitary run scored against her.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it, James and Kathy, that they can score. Seacombe, the bottom team, haven't won a game. They had 1 draw. That was the one, but they've scored 2 runs against this pitcher. I'm still coming to terms with it.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, so I'm not really sure, what happened there to be able to comment. But
Chelsea Robertson fouls this one. It's high, it's wide, and out at left field is Amy Wheeler, and she was just out of reach and range for that one there. Guys, I can tell you that I'd probably say that Seacombe just hadn't hit their straps into the season. They're playing a little bit of catch-up, I'd say, but they've got a quality lineup. Maslin, Dunn, Schultz, all at the top half of the order. If those 3 were to string a couple of hits together, they're going to score more than a couple of runs a game. That one straight back to Trzynski, and just like that, she makes a good catch, and I don't think it came off the bat as hard as she thought it did.
yeah, it definitely looked like it was coming off a lot quicker than it was. Here's the statewide super replay, just at the end of definitely at the end of the bat there.
First out, Chelsea Robertson. Next up to bat is Hayley Benithan. Gets up to the first pitch, it runs foul.
Yeah, you were talking about the Seacombe, the 2-all draw with the Eagles. James, in my opinion, Steph wasn't throwing as hard. It didn't appear to be as hard that she was throwing in that game. Maybe she was just a bit tired.
Just caught Lambert, Trzynski, and Belle White, although she doesn't play for West Torrens, a day after they returned from a Olympic ready camp at the AIS with the Travelodge Aussie Spirit and a couple of other Olympians.
It was incredibly grueling from all accounts. It was one of those that you go out of your comfort zone and do some challenging adventure activities that you might not normally do. Yes, I saw Jordan the night she came back from that, and she was well and truly fatigued.
Sleep deprived. I believe they had 2.5 hours sleep overnight. So they've come home. They've had 1 night's rest and break. They've both had to go to work the next day and then front up for softball. So perhaps you're right, Lee, with that. But I'm sure she won't be making excuses as she strikes out Hayley Benithan with a nice down and away pitch, and that's 2 outs for Walkerville. Desi Giamarellis, the new hitter.
And 2 good outs. Both Hayley and Chelsea have had some really good season so far with their batting. So it's a good start for West Torrens.
Dave Gooley is the on-field first base coach for Walkerville. I haven't seen him come out the dugout too much this year in his new role with Walkerville.
No, he hasn't, but he came out when any time Karen comes into the game, well then David will go out there. But normally Sally Colquist is, but I believe she's doing other things like playing B grade, or she's got a bit of an injury.
Giamarellis swing and a miss on this one. I'll ask you, Lee, how much of an advantage would it be for the Cats to have Dave Gooley in their coaching ranks, seeing as that he took West Torrens to a couple of grand finals? He had a year off last year, only to come back and go up against the Eagles this year.
It's a terrific plus for the Cats, I'm telling you, James. His knowledge of the game is second to none, and it'll just be really good. And from all reports from friends of mine, they say that he's very encouraging to the players, and just gives them that edge and experience.
Giamarellis fouls this one off. Are you calling me none?
No, I was going to say myself, but modesty prevented of the game.
Countdown clock in the bottom left of your screen at 75 minutes. It's counting down to the 85-minute mark, which is when no new innings can be started. Any inning that we start will be finished. A swing and a miss. Down and away again for Trzynski. So 2 strikeouts to end the first inning, and we've got a tied ball game after 1 complete. Well, if you're watching at home, we can see that the Softball SA Facebook page is lighting up at the moment. So there is a bit of a question for anyone watching at home. Who are you going for in this game, West Torrens or Walkerville? So complete that survey for us. Let's go around and see who's watching. Sophie Hoyle is watching from her wedding. Jenny Cameron says hello to Vicky McFarlane, and we get a reply to say hope all is well in Adelaide. Hi to Vicky Mack. She's one of our favourites, and Jenny Cameron gives us a congratulations for winning the Community Event of the Year award at last night's Sport SA Award. We'll touch on that in a moment. Steph Collett is watching from the west coast of the USA. Good day to Steph and all your college teammates. Jack Sapp is watching Jessie. She's watching from New Jersey. Alex Pallett watching from Mildura. G'day. And Craig Robinson just saying g'day to his old mate Jack as well. So plenty of people watching from home. And we will get back to the action. Walkerville Cats, West Torrens Eagles. It's a top of the table clash. It is a rematch of the grand final from the last 2 years. These two teams played absolute classic ball games in the last Saturday in March, the last 2 years. Walkerville back-to-back premiers. They came out on top both times. Nucky gets up to the first pitch. It's almost a little bit of no man's land, but Chelsea Robinson calls that one loud and clear, and Merck and Dresic just back off a little bit, and Chelsea Robinson takes a comfortable catch.
Just having a look at that again. Oh, she just got under it there, because it certainly sounded like it was going to go a lot further than it did, but obviously the bat swing just took it up too high.
Yep.
Steph Trzynski batting up to 5 in the order now, and I can tell you why. Because she has been in fine form with the bat. She goes up with a carefree attitude with the bat because she knows her job is pitching. Has a couple of good swings with the bat, and she swings hard and heavy, and she's been very successful at it.
Yeah, as a junior, she was batting was just as one of her weapons as well as the pitching. So it is nice that she gets the opportunity to bring that back into her game, albeit at club level, but it's definitely helping her team. She's had some really good hits out here.
Yes, I saw her during the week hit Yo Grower over the top of third base's head for a hit. But she looks at that one. Yeah,
she had an adjustment swing started and then just pulled back on it and didn't go for it. It was on the outside edge. It was there to be hit. Should be happy to get that one called when she's pitching.
Yes.
Melissa de Grief is visiting from the Netherlands. So hello to anyone watching from the Netherlands in this coverage. She's actually living with Belinda White, believe it or not.
Okay. Probably pick up a few tips there from Bell. But she's played in a variety of positions for the Eagles. Sort of a utility so far this year.
Hard to break into this infield league.
Yep.
And let's not forget, I mean, West Torrens have played in probably 4 or 5 of the last grand finals here in the Adelaide Club competition as well.
Been so close, haven't they? The last 2 specifically.
Both of them coming down to the final play of the game. Melissa de Grief watches the same one that Steph Trzynski did, and she goes down with the same result. A strikeout watching. And so Jessie Dresic up to the challenge that Steph Trzynski gave with 2 strikeouts to end the first inning. She comes out with 2 strikeouts to end the top of the second.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing to have 3 batters, 3 people come to the plate and 2 go down looking. That's not what you'd be looking for. Need to get people on in tight games.
We're bringing you the live coverage replays across the following Softball SA Facebook page, YouTube channel and Instagram. Live streaming the highlights and all the big plays, and you can catch all the action at home from the comfort of your couch on NITV, Channel 34 and SBS Channel 44. SA Community TV. The NIT coverage of the Adelaide A-grade competition is on Sundays at 12:30 on Channel 34. However, viewers on Fox 144 and the Freeview app can see all the coverage 90 minutes earlier, Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. And that is all special thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports.
Well, it's a pair of Sophies batting first here for the Cats, followed by a pair of Ashes.
That would be Merkin and George?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around?
It's
Yep,
Merkin and George, but it's Roberts and King prior to them appearing. This girl can hit the ball hard.
Yeah, Sophie Roberts, swing and a miss on that first pitch. How much advantage does she get playing softball and cricket? You know, both bat ball sports, hand-eye coordination.
I can only think it'd be a benefit, even though you're looking at the ball coming in different directions, and obviously you're swinging differently. But I just think the idea of you saying, James, hand-eye sports, looking at the ball coming towards you and how you're going to deal with it in terms of where it's placed and stuff like that. So all that sort of decision making all the time, I think it can only be beneficial. And some people may not necessarily be able to make the adjustment with the differences of the delivery, but Sophie seems to be doing a pretty good job of it so far. She was picked up as a reserve for the Aussie under-18s, under-19s for the World Championships and did a job over there.
Good pick up from Trzynski, a little half hopper over to Nucky for the first out. But you're right, she got that call up right at the last minute after a pretty good under-23 national championship and then got to travel to Irvine, California to play for the Junior Spirit in the World Champions in, what was that, August? Sophie King, new header for the Walkerville Cats, playing shortstop today. Played a fair bit of outfield last year, didn't she?
She did. She was in the Stars team predominantly for a right fielder, so she played most of her club ball last year in right field, just getting herself in that position. What a great all-rounder. Like, she handled that as if she had been doing that all her life. She plays well in the infield. She's very good around the bases. She's got good speed. So, yeah, just a great all-rounder. Nice person to coach as well. Just really wants to improve all the time, asking lots of questions. Yeah, coach's dream.
One of my favourite people in the sport as well. Absolutely lovely person. Swinging, that one has gone a long way, but she pulled an inside pitch, foul, and it just kept going and going. It went more third base side than left field, didn't it? Because it was almost a pull shot in cricket.
Maybe she's been watching Sophie ahead of her.
Swing and a miss for Sophie King. So 2 quick outs. The 2 Sophies go down. Now it's time for the 2 Ashes. As Lee said at the top of the inning.
Well, it's the outside curve that stitches them up as it did through the week.
Trzynski throws that one in at 98 Ks. Do you think it's probably a little bit under what she would normally throw, or maybe 102 would be probably around about her mark, I would say. Like, she's got great control. Maybe the rise ball comes in a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I think so. And Steph's a very experienced pitcher, so I'm sure she's always kind of manipulating her speed a little bit as well as her movement with the ball, just to keep these batters guessing. So it's never going to be an easy job for them to be picking what she's doing.
One bounces probably off the edge of the plate, the front edge of the plate, and just hits play to umpire Kevin Tannebring. Umpires for today's big clash between the Cats and the Eagles. Ian Gray on first base, Steve Wallace-Yarra, our state umpiring chief, on third. Kevin KT Tannebring behind the plate. He was at the Sport SA Awards night. Last night he was nominated for Volunteer of the Year by SANFL for his work that he does in the APY lands and Far Northwest Sports League. Swing and a miss for a strikeout. So another 2 strikeouts for Steph Trzynski. Takes her tally up to 4 for the game, and the game is still tied. It's 0-0 after 2 innings. Well, for those watching at home, thanks so much. You can like, share and comment on the Facebook page, and we'll say g'day to you, as we can say g'day to Jenny, who's watching from Perth, and Des, who's watching from Tassie, just watching from around the country, and a couple of people watching in the US, so it's going all around the world. So hello to everyone watching at home.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting that we get this opportunity to share this fantastic sport to people around the country. And I know for our players that play, have played in America, our international players that come and play here, and our locals that are currently playing at college ball, they love this opportunity to still stay in touch with their teams and share their support, and then be able to watch their daughters still play softball past their college days. So what a great opportunity. And thank you always to Softball SA and to Space Quake Sport for putting this on.
So it's batters 7, 8, and 9. Wheeler, Beale and Fuss. It's a girl, Amy Wheeler, leading off here. She's been playing at left field mainly this year.
There's a check swing on that one, but no swing this time round. So Amy Wheeler may have gotten away with one there. 1 ball. Was high and out of the zone, but she had an aggressive intent. That one's high as well for ball 2. Top of the 3rd, we haven't had a base runner yet.
No,
last time
very tight.
Last time these 2 teams played, it was 0-0. Did they get through 7, Lee?
Can't remember.
And even the few that have hit the ball, they've all gone to the pitchers. So anybody's watching, particularly for Jess, or the batteries, Jess, Chelsea, Faith and Steph, they're getting a lot of value for their money today.
Sophie
Yes.
King got a play, right? Yeah, one play to the field so far. Everything else, as you said, Kathy, it has been a game of batteries. Jackie Beale in the left-handed batter's box has become very good from this side of home plate, hasn't she, Lee?
She certainly has, and she's sticking to it.
Well, West Torrens are probably trying anything at this stage. They need to get a runner on. They need to put a little bit of offensive pressure on the Walkerville defence, because that's how Port Adelaide did the damage. You need to get that runner on base first, then there's a couple of plays for them to think about. We saw a wayward throw to Gia Morellis, it was, who had to stretch one way, and then the very next play she had to break to second base, and another wayward throw took her off the base. So the opportunities will come when you're applying that extra offensive pressure.
Yes, they certainly do, James. I'm just a bit concerned with Ashmerkin charging 1,000,000 miles an hour at the plate then, because if Jackie cracks one, it'll go straight through her.
Swing and a miss on a high pitch. So the dominance of the pitches continue, and up comes the debutante, Mary Elise. Did we call her Mary? We'll call her Fuss as she comes up to bat. So no doubt a nervous start, and having to come up against Jessie Dressick your first turn at bat. They're similar heights, aren't they, these two?
Well, certainly Mary Elise and Jordan look quite similar heights, so Jessie will get a bit of experience and opportunity to throw to these smaller girls for the next couple of batters.
And how imposing would it be? You're that height and you're looking at Jessie, and she's nearly at you when she lets the ball go.
Swing and a miss on a high pitch. Behind in the count early, the debutante. She did play with the SA under-17 girls earlier this year in January. So she has an ability, and you don't just, you know, walk into this West Torrens lineup, do you?
No,
you
you
got to
don't.
be able to play a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss for yet another strikeout for Jesse Dresick and the Walkerville Cats. So 9 batters for 9 outs, and Walkerville, it seems a bit quiet out there, doesn't it? I don't think either team are budging, but no one's just up. You know, doesn't look like anyone's taken any momentum in this game just yet, but it's a stalemate, isn't it, at the moment?
It's like they're both feeling their way. And that's 5 K2s for Jesse, and for Steph it's 4. So
4 with an inning to come as well.
yeah, they're dominating the pitches at this stage.
So it'll be interesting if this keeps progressing in the game, whether the coaches will start thinking about a different strategy, you know, perhaps putting on some pressure with short games. We'll see.
Well, you'd think so, Kath, because you need to make something happen when it's a game going along like this. You'll soon be up to the 5th innings before you know it. So.
Yeah, these are the type of games that pitchers and all of these girls in the Premier League love. You know, the top of the table battles, old Premiership, you know, rivals as well. So here we go. We've got an opportunity here.
First base runner of the game, and if you are watching from home, welcome back to the live coverage. We just had a slight delay, and we're back with the live action. And Faith Picard becomes the first base runner of the game with a base on balls. 1 out. She takes off on the pitch, so a hit and run. Lana Kaiser gets under her, and she's dropped the catch. Hayley Benithan at left field. She came charging in hard. It's bounced out the palm of her glove. As it hit the glove, Faith Picard turned and unfortunately didn't see the ball come out of the glove, land on the ground, and so now Lana Kaiser is the runner on first with 2 out.
Absolutely unfortunate situation there. So yeah, as you said, down potentially 2 people on, but now we're down to 1 on and 2 down.
Up to bat now is Kelsey Nucky, part of the team here at Softball SA, one of our staff members.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity, James, to say congratulations to Kelsey and you and your whole staff on taking out the community event of the year last night at the Sport SA Awards for the Under-17 National Championships that you guys hosted here. It was an amazing event.
Series, and we thought, well, why not? We'll nominate again for the award, and we're up against some quality events, and to be back-to-back winners, it's an absolute thrill. And it just goes to show that with a great team of staff and volunteers to help out at an event, it's just, you know, the passion that we have within our group of volunteers, the scoring team. We had a great setup with the volunteers in the Scorers Pavilion, which is also known as the German Shepherd Dog Club. Kelsey Nucky just fouls this one. It's going to go out of reach. And they're very well looked after by Natalie Lilburn and Julie Rocco. Hayley Benithan, who's playing left field, was one of our key volunteers, as was Walkerville pitcher Jessie Dresick. She joined us on the Spacequake Sports Call team when we live streamed some of the matches. We live streamed a game each night, and then both the boys and the girls grand finals. And you know, it was a great team effort, and none of us could have done it without the other, and so it was amazing to get the recognition again. And that award wasn't just for Softball SA staff, it was for everyone who contributed.
Fantastic.
Merkin in foul territory will take this catch for the 3rd out, and although we had our first base runner, still no break in the score. It's still 0-all. These two teams are caught in a deadlock. 0-all.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the difference between that inning and the last inning is we started to see some more connection with the ball. So, you know, maybe this is the time, as we were saying before, this is time when things are going to change from what we saw. Everyone's seen the batter, the pitcher at least once through. So who knows? Maybe the runs will start to come.
Well, we are in the middle of the third inning. We're back live, and just a couple of technical difficulties. So g'day to everyone who's stuck with us, and back with the live action. Walkerville Cats haven't gone back into the dugout yet from the fielding inning, and that would be because Coach Karen Dale would be just telling them, need to just put the ball into play here. Let's put some offensive pressure on this West Torrens defence and try and generate a run. What else would she have been giving in that message, Lee?
I think that's it. You've summed it up perfectly, but I'm telling you, if they get a runner on shortly or a couple of runners in scoring position, Karen Dale, the coach herself, should have a bat, in my opinion, because she's very good at bringing runners home.
Top of the inning, or top of the lineup, I should say, for the Walkerville Cats is Chelsea Robinson. She hit one straight back to Steph Trzynski, her first time up to bat. Watching this one bounce through, and it's a 1-1 count.
Free hit, it's free hit time.
Is that what you think, Lee, after the pitcher's thrown one in the dirt, you go for the next one? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm thinking.
This one hit Chelsea Robinson on the skim past the elbow. She hasn't gone to rub it. She hasn't hit the deck. So she should be okay. Yeah, it's just brushed past her. She's tough. Hey, we saw her on Thursday night. Didn't take her eye off the ball. A foul ball opportunity. She ran all the way back into the back net, and ball tipped her glove as she smashed into the net right in front of us here in the commentary position, and she went down for a half a minute, I think, but she was fine in the end.
Yeah, she's got that was a gutsy effort, and you said didn't take the eye off the ball, was going to go for that ball no matter what. Didn't matter what was in her way. So what an effort.
Well, they've gone bunt, sacrifice bunt, but I think you need, with this Steph pitching, you need to get around early and just put the ball down. Everyone knows you're going to bunt. Just put the ball into play. Corners
for West Torrens, just ready to jump on this. Lana Kaiser took that one in foul territory, backhand side. Still wanted that lead runner.
My point exactly again. Now 2 strikes. She's not going to be bunting now, you wouldn't think.
Let's watch the statewide super replay to see that action. Great camera angle. It would have been safe as well, so maybe the wrong choice from Lana, but it went foul. So
yeah,
we'll reset with 2 strikes on Hayley Benithan.
Sorry, James. Particularly when you've got Chelsea Robinson on first base. She's always going to take a big jump, and she's one of our speediest players here in the competition. So, yeah, unless you're getting that ball, straight off the bat, she's going to be a tough one to get out.
Well, Walkerville looking to take on this, maybe a chink, maybe what they see as a chink in the armour of this defence, with the debutant Fuss playing second base. Well, safe at first, safe at second. A bunt attempt with 2 strikes. Hayley Benithan gets it into play. It just comes out of the glove of Lana Kaiser, just out of her reach. Let's watch the statewide super replay there.
That's a great
effort.
Again, Hayley Benithan, another one of our really quick runners. What a great play, and puts them in a really good position.
I think Chelsea Robinson didn't even look to see if that ball had gone to the deck first, so she would have been stone cold out if Kaiser had taken that miracle chance.
It looked like a squeeze play, didn't it? And it just shows you, when you're under real pressure with 2 strikes on, you can still put the ball into play.
Another bunt attempt. Walkerville sticking with the short game, trying to manufacture this run. There's none out. The number 3 hitters up to bat. Speedy runners on second. in scoring position is Robinson. Speedy runner on first is Benythan. So any ball in play, these girls will have the advantage with their speed. Another bunt attempt.
Well, any pitcher worth their salt is going to throw it up, aren't they? They're going to force you to foul it off. That's what Steph's been doing.
5 bunt attempts out of the last 6 pitches.
Yep. Just picking your thing, get your bat up higher and come down on the ball, whatever you do, rather than come up.
Well, they've got a big opportunity here, the Cats. Wing and a miss from Gia Morales. First out of the inning. Trzynski.
Great comeback.
Was a good comeback. She's got a little bit of pressure on her. She knows that Walkerville Cats are just trying to get the ball into play here, trying to play that short game. She knows she's got a good defense behind her. So
What about a double steal? What about a double steal here?
Got the wheels to do it. Swing and a miss from Roberts. It's high and out of the zone. She had her hands up though, so not too far off of it.
Well, by double steal, I mean you put real pressure on the field and the defence here, and if you get one put out at third, you'll still have another person in scoring position at second.
Well, I don't think that West Torrens will be expecting that now, although Karen Dale goes to the arms for the signal, so just making sure that the runners could see her as she stepped out to the front of the coach's box. So perhaps there's something on here, but Sophie Roberts probably didn't look at that signal. So maybe a signal for the runners, as Lee mentioned. A big swing and a miss again from Roberts. So she's really backing herself on these rise ball pitches.
See how tough Steph is here in these situations. She is terrific.
1 ball, 2 strikes, bottom of the 4th. 2 runners on for the Cats. Here's their chance. Outside, Trzynski trying to get Roberts chasing. Two and 2 count. Swing and a miss. All very similar pitches, weren't they? The ones that she swung and missed at for a strikeout. So 2 strikeouts in a row for Trzynski after giving up 2 base runners. Chelsea Robinson is coming off as the catcher speed up. Courtesy runner is Ash George. For those watching at home, courtesy runner can be anyone in the lineup as long as you're not in the next 4 batters. So just a break in the play, guys. Although it's tight and it's tense, so we'll stay with the action. I'll just say that the other games today, Hills Heat versus Sturt Falcons. Sturt will be looking to bounce back after a loss against, who'd they lose to last week? Glenelg. The red hot Glenelg on a roll. In there for a strike. Sophie King's the hitter, 99 Ks. The other game, Glenelg versus Seacombe. As I said, Glenelg on a roll at the moment. They should win that one. They're sitting 4th at the moment, 4 wins and a draw. Only 10 runs against. We'll touch on that in a moment, Kathy. Yeah. Sophie King, 1 strike. 1 just tickling the edge, outside edge, just maybe a little low for a ball. 1 and 1 count. Ash George now the runner on second, so I don't think the Cats have lost any pace out there. Fouls off, so King's had a couple of good pieces of the ball that have gone foul already, so if she gets one that she in her wheelhouse, we could see the ball go into play here. Let's see where the West Torrens outfield are. Degrees, probably regulation. Yeah, I'd say that the outfield are all regulation here for King. Ground ball to Kaiser, awkward bounce, just out of her reach, and George has come off the base and now caught in a trap play here. Faith Picard with the ball in hand. Tag play from Lambert.
That was a great play by West Torrens.
For the 3rd out. So Lana Kaiser did not panic. It was Ash George that didn't break stride, and she turned 3rd base, probably thinking that the throw was going to go to 1st base. West Torrens got her in a rundown play, and it was completed here. Let's have a look at the statewide super replay on the reverse angle. Kaiser just couldn't get a handle on it, but caught George off the base, far enough off the base. So that's quality defense from the Eagles. Good play from Picard. And from Lambert for the third out, and after 4 complete innings, we've got a 0-0 ball game.
But some people on base, which is a good sign for both teams.
Yeah, good point, Lee. A runner in scoring position, 2 runners on base with no out. So Walkerville Cats probably with the upper hand here at this middle stages of the game. What's that, 10 innings now in a row that these two teams haven't been able to break a 0-0 deadlock. Hello to everyone who's watching back at home. So thanks for rejoining us. I saw someone before from Pretoria in South Africa watching. Hello, watching in South Africa. Stephen and Monique watching from Perth. And Greg Russack watching from the Eastern States. So hello and welcome back to the action. A tight game here. We have the Walkerville Cats and the West Torrens Eagles. It is the top of the 5th inning. A 0-0 ball game, and Steph Drzezinski's up to bat for the Eagles. We just mentioned before the other games today, Hills Heat versus Sturt Falcons. Hills won on Wednesday night as well. They're just their 2nd win of the year. So maybe they'll be on a bit of a roll against Sturt, who had a loss in their last outing. Steph Drzezinski aggressively gets after that first pitch. What are your thoughts on that game, guys?
Yeah, I think with having Georgia here as well on today, that's they've got a little momentum and bring in some of that pitching strength as well. They'll be definitely looking to keep their winning streak going.
Yeah, they tell me she played at left field in Wednesday night's game, George, so she must have been down here for some reason.
I missed that. Did either of you guys give a tip for the Hills versus Sturt game?
Hills versus Sturt, I'll go Sturt by 2 runs.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Sturt. I don't think they would want to lose too many games in a row. They'll come back fighting, and I'm giving them, I'm going to say 3 runs, Lee, just to be a little bit different.
I'd like to change my tip to 4 runs.
High for a ball.
Any takers for higher?
No, it's 2. I'm settling for 2.
The Nostradamus of softball. Lee Hull called it earlier. Karen Dale's actually warming up in the dugout. I can see her at the moment, just swinging her legs and warming up. She may come in for an at-bat.
Lee, this is awesome.
Gary the Guru, I think sounds better. Gary the Guru.
Full count now for Steph Drzezinski. She's gone deep in the count here. So I'll keep saying it. I love seeing the pitchers come into the game for an at-bat and see if she can be a lead-off or a lead-off runner for the Eagles, and gets after this one. It was a check swing. It's taken in fair territory from Ash Merkin, who's got a terrific arm.
Good take by Sophie Roberts.
And the first out is made. Other game for today, Glenelg versus Seacombe. Now we know who Kathy's going to be going for. Glenelg are just on a roll at the moment. I think they're undefeated over the last 3 or 4 games, which it goes back to a 0-0 draw against West Torrens, and they've had a couple of good wins, including against Port Adelaide and against Sturt. So 2 teams that were sitting above them in the ladder. Melissa de Grief, ground ball to Ash Merkin. So 2 plays to third base in 2 pitches, and de Grief is the 2nd victim of the inning. So getting the ball into play, West Torrens. But yeah, so as I was saying, Glenelg Rebels just beating 2 teams that were sitting above them on the ladder to move themselves into 4th place, sitting on 9 points. And what do you think? Their 3 losses have just been by that margin of 1 run as well. So if you're talking runs against, the 10 runs against, like I just mentioned, 3 losses by solitary single run.
Well, they've been impressive to me from day 1 of this season. As soon as the season started, Glenelg were on their game. So full credit to everybody at Glenelg, the coaching staff. Yeah, one of them sitting between you and I, James.
I'll touch on that in a minute. Glenelg's first game, a 1-0 loss against Sturt. Next time they played them, they won 2-1. Played Port Adelaide, they lost 2-1. Next time they played Port Adelaide, they won 2-1. So they've just had a reverse of fortune against those 2 teams. Each team plays everyone else 4 times in the season, so if they can split the series against those 2 teams, it should put them in good stead for a top 4 berth. Kathy Lambert,
yeah, that's
assistant coach. Ground ball to Desi Giamarellis. We'll just keep the conversation going between inning here. And Kathy Lambert, assistant coach of the Glenelg Rebels and also part of the state-wide super cool team here on Spacequake Sports. What tell us? What's been the big change for Glenelg to turn those 1-run losses into one-run wins?
Well, I think, and I can only speak for this year, obviously I haven't been involved with the coaching staff for the last couple of years, but Nat Brinkworth's focus this year in the beginning has just been on let's go back to basics. You know, we had a very, very young side for the last couple of years, and can't assume that they all come with the same level of background. So Nat spent the whole preseason working on going back to basics. I did a lot of the fitness and agility with them to get them to be more athletic in the field and also in their at-bats and running. So we've sort of combined that, but let's also give credit to we've had some new international players come in, and not only they're bringing some good skill, but what they're also bringing is a lot of knowledge about the game. And so their conversations with our girls, and I'm talking about Zoe Conley pitching, Tori Pogue, who's an incredible utility player and batter, and Eva Malkova from the Czech Republic, but they've brought lots of knowledge that are teaching this, you know, traditionally very young side that we had. So we're learning, we're doing a lot of batting, which has been an area of weakness over the last couple of years. So yeah, it's coming together.
Glenelg Rebels, a team to watch, and they actually play live on Spacequake Sports next Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll touch on that game in a moment. Steph Drzinski to Ash Merkin, a rise ball out of the zone, and Merkin is chasing. So next week's game is Glenelg Rebels versus the Walkerville Cats, the 10th year of the breast cancer awareness round. So we're going to be live streaming and broadcasting that match.
And I'll be one of your tuning-ins from Thailand. Well, I'm over there with the Australian women's wheelchair basketball team, James.
So you don't get to dress up in pink with the rest of the team?
No, unfortunately, and that's one of the games of the rounds that I absolutely enjoy and really support the cause there. So I'm quite disappointed. Maybe I'll be dressing up in pink. I'll take a pink shirt in honor and wear it while I'm watching the game.
Lee's going to be heading up the call team next week. I'll be away in Canberra, and so I'll miss out as well, unfortunately. But the breast cancer awareness round is actually nationwide this year. Softball Australia are on board as well. We've got a couple of the associations around the state who had their own breast cancer awareness round last year as Merkin strikes out swinging for the first out in the bottom of the 5th inning. So absolutely great to see the whole entire softball community around the state and in the country getting behind this great cause. But it was these two teams, Glenelg Rebels and Walkerville Cats, that started it all 10 years ago. And that will be next week as West Beach turns pink for the 10th breast cancer awareness round match.
I intend to go out and buy a nice pink bow tie this week, James. So I'm sure the colour would match with my complexion. I don't need the scorers putting in their 2 cents worth at the moment, like they are.
And for those watching at home who are going to be down here next week, bringing you your extra change, there'll be plenty of stalls with pink baked goods with all proceeds going to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Yeah, it's a great day out. We all always look forward to it.
I think it was about 417 degrees last year for the breast cancer awareness round, but we'll keep our eye on the weather forecast and hope for better weather this year round. Ash George, the hitter, 1 ball, 2 strikes, bottom of the 5th inning. There's 1 out. Was able to hold off on this one, so she's learning a little bit now, Ash George, as she would have had to been taking everything in as she is just in her first year of softball, believe it or not, already playing A grade, only 18 years of age, and she's just settled straight into this game. She's going to be a talent if she and when she sticks with it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if she tried a little running bunt shortly. She's really quick. On the full count, she's probably not going to.
Full count, yep. So
just slap the ball down somewhere. She'll probably go the big hoik though. She did.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Another strikeout to Trzynski. I'll get you to count them up for us in a sec, Lee. But the slap hit for a baseball player, though, Lee, I'm not sure if that's a skill that they teach him, is it?
No, but I think she's playing softball today, so I would have thought that could be used.
Well, I only mention it because it's her first season of softball, Lee.
Yep. 10 K2s for Steph. Are you surprised? I'm not.
Trzynski, 10 strikeouts from, what has she had, 16, 17 batters?
Yeah, 16. That's impressive. Quite a lot of softball still to go as well.
Kelsey Barker, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. So countdown clock says about 23, 24 minutes, and that is until no new innings can start, and we're in the bottom of the 5th.
I tell you, today, Steph, in this game, Steph's rise is really hurting them.
Just watches that one go past. It was the curveball on this occasion. And she's just been dominant. 11 strikeouts for Trzynski. We finished the 5th inning. It's still a deadlock, a tied ball game. It's 0-0 between the Cats and the Eagles. Thanks to everyone who's watching from home. Spacequake Sports bringing you all the action right here on the Softball SA Facebook page. And I just want to say g'day to all those watching at home from around the country and around the world. One of my favourite coaches, Anthony Weatherstone, is watching. I'll say g'day to you. Jade Peterson's watching. No doubt she will be fired up for a game against Glenelg, the old foe, at 6 o'clock tonight. Good rivalry between Seacombe and Glenelg.
One of your favourite coaches, how many have you got, James?
Oh, there's not many. I can't really think of anyone else that would be up there, Lee.
I could prompt you.
What are you thinking? Back in the mid-90s? Mid-90s I had a coach.
1890s. You had a coach in the 90s, yeah. 94.
The inaugural SA under 16 team.
The most cheeky. Yeah, the most cheeky.
Scott Brady was my assistant coach.
Yeah, and you were the most cheekiest kid I've ever seen.
No. Couldn't have been me. Let's get back to the action. Top of the 6th inning.
The scorers just said you still are.
Jackie Beale is the batter. You know what? I love our scorers, and I doubt that they would have had anything bad to say about me.
How do you define love? Is my next question.
With all my heart.
Oh, really?
Jackie Beale.
Wait till I tell Jordan.
From the left side. Just pulls out of that one. It looked like it was coming in, but called strike. 1-1 is the count. Well, we mentioned the other games today. We mentioned the breast cancer awareness game next Saturday at 2 p.m, but back this Thursday, week 4, fully loaded softball action, 7 p.m. right here on the Softball SA live stream. It has been non-stop action. And if you haven't joined us yet for the broadcast, do yourself a favour. Get on and watch this fully loaded softball. It is absolutely unreal action, and I'm absolutely loving bringing you all the big plays and the 3 teams, the 3 franchise teams, all the state representatives that are preparing for national championships. It's a hell of a competition. Jackie Beale gets a good piece of the ball, and at full stretch, Sophie King in probably the play of the game so far for the Walkerville Cats defence. Great catch at shortstop.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the best hits of the game so far for nothing, and that's the nature of this game. You can hit the ball hard like that, get out, miss-hit it, and get 2 bases.
Mary Fuss now the batter for West Torrens. I think West Torrens' best defensive effort was that run-down play. They had to finish the last, what was it, the bottom of the 4th inning. We have also been the highlights of the game so far has been from our 2 pitches.
Yeah, and that play, the run-down play is so critical. You know, when we're talking about a game where runs aren't going to come easy. So it was a great effort by West Torrens to hang together in such a pressure situation.
And no panic from Lana Kaiser. That was the main thing in the end.
Watches this one on the outside edge for a ball, so gets herself ahead of the count here. Fuss has a stretch of the bat, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And James, going back to Fully Loaded on Thursday nights as well, I've been speaking to a few of the players. They're really enjoying it. They're getting lots of play. You know, it's games like this here where it's a pitcher's duel. You may not face too many balls, but the Fully Loaded competition gives them a lot of opportunity to be in the play and touch the ball and be under pressure, just like we've seen in this one play here today.
2-2 count now on Fuss. Swing and a miss. How many strikeouts? Leo will get you to count them up for us as we go back to the top of the order for West Torrens game's original leadoff. Jordan Lambert up to bat, so for the 3rd time she will get to see Dressick. She had a fly ball to centre field last time. Lee, how many have you got, mate?
I've got 6, James.
6 strikeouts for Jessie Dressick.
And nearly double that for Steph. And the score remains 0-0.
No one's in there for a called strike, maybe on the outside edge.
Yeah, I don't think Jordan was happy with that call, but she's entitled to have her opinion, as all batters are.
High for a ball, 1-1 is the count.
Really important part of the game, this turn at bat for Jordan, isn't it? Might be the start of something big for the Eagles.
Team leadoff and leader. Outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you're looking to your leadoff. You're looking to your team leaders to get something going in a tight contest like this. Hops this one up, first base side. Sophie Roberts takes a catch and a 3rd out. So top of the 6th now completed. Geez, we're just rolling through this game. It's still 17 minutes to go before no new innings. And the way that the innings have been going, guys, we may even get through 7.
Looking that way, isn't it, at the moment?
If we have a quick bottom half of this inning and then say 3 up 3 down for the top and the bottom of the 7th, Lee, you might know the bylaws for the Adelaide Club competition a little bit better than me. Maybe will they go into a tie break if there's time? I'm getting a nod.
Yeah,
I'm getting a nod.
Yep.
Didn't come from you, Lee. It came from the expert statistician panel getting a nod.
I thought it's about time I let somebody else give you the correct information.
You didn't know, mate. Here we go. Steph Trzynski in her warm-up pitches. Faith Picard catching. Kelsey Nucky at first. Mary Fuss at second. Baseliner Kaiser at third. Jordan Lambert at shortstop with Amy Wheeler, Jackie Bill and Melissa DeGrief patrolling the outfield for the Eagles. They're going to be coming up against Bianca Ramsey and then the top of the Walkerville order in Chelsea Robinson and Hayley Benithan. Sensational competition right here, right now. These 2 teams have currently gone 11 and a half scoreless innings over 2 contests in this season so far.
Well, it's shaping to be good enough to be a grand final, isn't it, really? It's got everything in there except hits, safe hits. Boring, is that what you said, Jill? Our esteemed scorer, as you called it, said it was boring. No, nothing's happening. There's a few strikeouts.
Bianca Ramsey in the box for the Cats. Stepped early on that one, so that might have been a 2-strike adjustment and swung on a pitch that bounced off the plate. Picard wasn't able to get a glove to it. And so we get the leadoff on for the Cats. This is the 2nd time they've got their leadoff on. Statewide Super Replay will show it there, just way off the swing, but she just got on her bike as soon as she swung and missed. And No luck for the Eagles there as it gets away from catcher Picard. Runner on base for the Cats. Here we go. Squares and shows bunt. Great bunt. Bare hand from Nucky. Gets it across to Fuss for the first out. Runner advances. So runner in scoring position for Benithan. Will we see another bunt?
Well, that was smart thinking from Kelsey. Saved time, picked the ball up. It was just about stationary at the time. And didn't get the glove in the way of knocking it.
Kept their composure as well. Didn't throw the ball, overthrow the ball to Fuss covering it first. Good cover from the debutant. So we're going to see bunt here, guys, or we're going to try and bring him in?
Yeah, I'm thinking bunt.
Well, I'm going to say, what are we going here? Let's have a look.
Well, you called the double steal earlier, Lee.
Yeah,
maybe you see a fake bunt steal here from second base.
No, I'm thinking normal bunt here. It has to be a normal bunt.
Let's watch the corners. Swing and a miss. This is a pop up to left field. Jordan Lambert backs out of it. Amy Wheeler gets under it and takes a comfortable catch at left field. Good piece of the ball from Hayley Benithan. She just off of it. She has been in fine hitting form of late and just missed that one, and that could have been the ball game on one swing.
I don't think it was meant to be a hit and run. I think it was just, you know, get one you can swing at, and the runner played it very carefully. So here's a dangerous batter
with
a runner on.
Desi G. Morales, the veteran.
Yeah, Steps had her number for the first two at-bats, though, with two strikeouts. So she, no doubt she's probably feeling pretty confident.
I'm not counting her out, Kathy. Desi G. Morales, one of the best in the business. She's a clutch hitter. She hits 4 in the Cats lineup for a reason. 3 today.
But you've always got Karen Dale there, warm, as you said, with a runner at second. Ball game in the balance.
I reckon Karen's going to back the top half of her order. If she's going to come in, it'll be for someone in the second half.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Just watches that one for a ball, and 1 ball, 2 strikes. G. Morales. With a hit could put the Cats in front. Swing and a miss. Trzynski gets herself out of a jam yet again. She's so good, Trzynski.
Yeah.
Just
class. She's a class player.
Absolutely leading this team. And after 6 complete innings, it is a tied ball game. Walkerville and the Eagles locked in a deadlock, 0-0. All right, thanks everyone who's commenting, liking, watching, sharing, Facebook, Styles, social media. Troy Purcell, awesome pitching battle. 2 of the best pitchers in the state going head to head. They'll both be representing the Stars at the Gillies Shield in January. Very much looking forward to seeing Jessie Dressick in the Stars colours. And also another good comment from Paul Roberts. No batters looking to shorten the swing and grip down the bat. Missing an easy adjustment. Well, he might be onto something, because these 2 teams have been locked in a 12-inning deadlock over 2 games so far this season. West Torrens have an opportunity here. They're at the top of their order. Hitter 2 in the lineup, Faith Picard, to get things going for the Eagles. Now, what about the result of this game? What does it mean? Well, Walkerville currently played 8 games. West Torrens have played 9. West Torrens, though, are 4 points ahead on top of the table against the rest of the competition. So a draw here would see still a 4-point break between the 2 teams. A win for Walkerville would shut the gap a little bit there, with only 2 points separating him, and Walkerville still with a game in hand. So interesting.
Yeah, it's but this is the sort of situation, person like Lana Kaiser, I see her in the on-deck circle, she loves these situations. So if Faith gets on, I just about bet that Lana will go cracking long shot. See how close I am.
Yeah, and she certainly can do it. As I said, she's been on fire with the bat this season. A couple of games ago, I remember watching, she had 2 really strong hits.
Powerful shots, weren't they? They were powerful shots. got a bat to get on, so she has to do a running bunt, Faith, and she has to.
High for a ball. Timeout called from Chelsea Robinson. She's not in any hurry here. It is the top of the 7th. And now that we've started this inning, we will complete it. So unless we have 6 quick outs, it'll just go 7. 2 balls the count. Yeah, so Robinson just calling a timeout. Wants to have a chat with her pitcher and just say, all right, let's get back into this count here. We don't want to let a lead off runner on here. Ground ball to Merkin, who's been great at third today. Few plays over in the hot corner and fires this one across to Roberts for the first out.
Yes, she's been steady there, Ash, hasn't she? And that's what she is. A steady, consistent player. Here we go, long shot here coming.
Lana Kaiser for the Eagles. Watching the first one in there for a called strike. So because it's the last inning of the game, we've seen the Eagles just come up and watching a fair few pitches because, well, they want to make sure they get quality at bats. High for a ball and a change of pace from Dressick down to 91.
She knows what Lana's after here, Jessie. I think she needs to keep the pace off of the game here.
Well, she gets this one to the left side. So
what a surprise.
Eagles with their first hit of the ball game coming in the 7th inning, and it's Lana Kaiser, the Stars veteran, pulling the ball to left field. Ailey Benathan gets around and gets it in quickly. Statewide Super replay shows Lana Kaiser.
That's a great hit. Yeah, I was just thinking about these 2 pitchers aiming for some no-hitters here, but Lana just put it into that one.
That one low as it goes under the knees. The height required for a strike.
Well, I don't think they'd be wanting to bunt Kelsey here. They'll just go with her with the bat.
1 out. Gets it, pulls it, just foul, just off of the line. So a bit of luck, fortune favouring the Cats on this occasion. Geez, if that one just caught a little bit of chalk, we would have seen Kaiser with extra bases for sure. So
that's her strength, Kelsey, hitting down that line.
1 ball and 1 strike. We saw Andrew Scott go to the signal, so maybe there's something on to test this defence of the Cats. Kaiser's taken off on the pitch and she dives in. Caught shot, Sophie King with a great play at shortstop. A terrific throw from catcher Chelsea Robinson. So, geez, the Eagles were trying something. They're getting a little desperate. Statewide Super replay got the perfect pitch that she wanted. The tag was on the helmet.
Yeah, but
did she get the hands in? Let's have a look at the Statewide Super replay. This angle might actually show what we saw. Yeah, I think that might have been closer than what it looked. Strike called. So Nucky's got 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that's what I was saying about earlier to both of you, that you've got to try and make something happen. Andrew Scott did, and Lana Kaiser is quick on her feet, so worth a chance, isn't it? You know, just to get somebody in scoring position. Maybe Kelsey can tee off with one now.
Yeah, there's no protection though with a straight steal. Like if it was a hit and run maybe, or if it was showing bunt or something to cover up. So
I thought she hit above the ball. Well, maybe
she
wrong.
just watched it. It was a ball.
Okay, was it? Okay.
Out to right side.
Good try.
Diving effort from Ashley George at right field.
Horizontal. You love to see that when you're coaching.
Great effort for someone so new to the sport. Shows her character. She's gutsy and ready to go for it.
Well, it's an object lesson to people that play the sport. You're out in the grass. You're not going to get hurt by diving.
Great camera angle there from our team at Spacequake Sports.
Oh,
Hard bounce for Jumarellis, but she negotiates it well. And the Cats will have the last chance to break this deadlock as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're still locked away. It's 0-0. West Torrens had a chance there. Lana Kaiser got the first hit of the game. Has anyone from Walkerville had a hit yet? They were both on no hitters. You said that before, didn't you, Kathy?
Yeah, unless Lee sees something that I don't, but I can't see a hit at
no.
all. So yeah, coming into the 7th inning, we're potentially going to have a similar situation to a couple of weeks ago with who was it? Steph and Zoe had a no-hitter in their Wednesday night game in the same game. So almost heading for that, but Lana Kaisler, nice little hit out to left field just then, has changed that situation for Jessie, but who knows for Steph here.
Well, we are around about 19 minutes past the hour. If Steph Trzynski can get 3 up, 3 down here in quick time, maybe we will go to that tiebreaker with no new innings set to start in about 6 minutes or so. However, if we go over that threshold, it is the Walkerville Cats in the best position because they can't lose. If we're close to time and no new innings is ruled, they won't be able to lose from here. So they've at least got a draw. So with nothing to lose, is this where you just take the bat off the shoulder and you have a couple of big cuts, or are you still trying to manufacture that run one base at a time?
Either or, but I think that they'll probably just bat sensibly here and just, go as deep into the count as they can. That's the way I'd be doing it right at this moment.
Geez, I'm not sure where that one missed. Maybe Picard was set up right inside. Ball one, though, is the count.
It looked good, didn't it? It looked really good from here, I thought.
That rise ball has had the better of Roberts so far in this game.
And she let one go over that I thought she may have been swinging at, and then swings at one that, yep. It's a battle. It's a battle, isn't it? It's been a battle to the wire.
That one's in there for a called strike, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, this actually could be an issue for Roberts because she's been swinging at pitches out of the zone and she's just watched that one go down the middle.
Well, if it's a rise, she's going to be swinging.
What do you think? Curveball on the outside edge. So Roberts goes down without a fight here in the bottom of the 7th. Trzynski's 13th strikeout.
Unlucky for some Cats.
Well, here for mine, here's the clutch player in the Cats lineup, Sophie King. 10-year state representative, former Stars player. She was in a junior Aussie squad, just missing out on a junior world championship team. Probably in about 2010, 2011 maybe.
And she's battled off a lot of really top-class pitchers over the years.
Couple of A-grade, a few, probably 3 or 4 A-grade premierships, 2 player of the finals. Big game player, this one. Drops into the grass, first hit of the ball game for the Cats. It's come in the bottom of the 7th. It is the champ herself. It's Sophie King with the hit. Runner on first, 1 out. Are we going to see a steal first up and then maybe try and bunt her to third, or are we going to just see straight to the short game?
Well, I would be playing Karen Dale right at this moment.
Shows bunt, protects, out of reach as it goes foul. So there we go. First attempt is a bunt. We're going to back Sophie King's speed. She's probably the quickest, or in the top 3 for the Cats, along with Robinson and Benithan.
And George.
Look at the corners for the Eagles. It is a stolen base attempt, and King was there in plenty of time. She might not have even needed to slide. She was there that quick. Say what Super Replay will show it. We won't see the lead off from this angle. but she'll come into screen any second.
Yep, she was a good time.
Well, runner in scoring position with one out. Merkin watches this one for a ball, so she'll now go ahead of the count, I think. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, whatever happens to Ash Merkin, I've got Carindale batting next.
Called strike right on the top of the zone. 2-2 is the count. Looks like the countdown timer has come to 0, so we're around about that time we were talking about where no new innings, so this could be it. High for a ball, and this is actually going to be a pretty good count for Ash Merkin, a full count. Would you be tempted to just give her the ball, intentionally walk her and put a force on?
Maybe so, but then I'd still be bringing Carindale. I know I keep talking about.
She didn't count it's just the runner that's ahead of her. So this isn't a bad result for the Eagles that puts the force back on.
Yeah, I agree.
If Merkin's her run's not gonna count, it's just going to be Sophie King. If a run is scored that counts, that's going to be the ball game. So putting that force on is probably not a bad idea.
No, that's fine, but it's 1 run you're looking at.
George now the hitter. 7 and 8 now. Batters 7 and 8 for the Cats. Ash George.
Bunt this one, bat Karen next.
Swing and a miss, and it's the left-handed batter as well that just opens up third base for Faith Picard, the catcher, so her view's not obscured at all. So Sophie King, I think the steal goes out the window here as well.
Yeah, good point.
High for a ball, almost like a pitch out, maybe that they were intending on
the pick-off.
On the pick-off attempt, if King was going to take off. 1 ball and 2 strikes, a waste pitch as well. Didn't want to throw it anywhere near the zone for George here. Strikeout, swinging, so there's 2 out, there's 2 runners on, it's a 0-all ball game. We're in the bottom of the 7th. We've got the 8 hitter up to bat. It is Kelsey Barker.
A repeat of earlier 6 messages.
Well, can she be the hero for the Cats here? Can she be the unlikely hero, guys? She just needs to get the ball into play. Sophie King's got the wheels to beat out a throw from the outfield.
Well, she's definitely got a good swing on her, so if some contact's made, I think that ball's going to go right through the infield.
That's a very good point, if contact's made.
I guess it's the aim of the game, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
You can look as good as you can, but you've got to make contact.
Watching this one very well. That one's too high to swing at. Well, it's a high pressure situation, isn't it? 2 on, 2 out, it's bottom of the 7th. The game is tied. 1-1 is the count on Kelsey Barker. She actually looks quite composed, doesn't she? More composed than what I am. High for a ball.
I'm certainly feeling quite nervous myself.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I'll feel much better when I see Carindale come into plate.
It's different when you're in a coaching situation, the lead coach. Lee?
Yes. Well, so they tell me, Kat. Tell me all about it.
Just over the top of that one, Kelsey Barker for strike 2. So she's had 2 good swings. And she's watched 2 balls go past her, so it's been a great turn at bat so far. Here we go again. I'll call it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Runner on second. 0-all ball game in the bottom of the 7th. High for a ball, so
great turn at bat.
Runners will go on the pitch. Full count with 2 out. Runners will be stealing. It's a straight steal. Kelsey Barker has an opportunity here. Get any ball into play here, and Sophie King will be looking at home. High for a ball and loads them up, so runners with full loaded bases here for Bianca Ramsey. Hit a 9 in the lineup timeout called. Bottom of the 7th. It's 2 out and full. Bases are full for the 9-hitter. A chat now from the Walkerville camp. What do you got for me, guys? Come on, help us out.
I've got Karen Dale back, actually.
Of course.
I don't know how many more times I have to say it.
I'm just wondering if Jill still thinks this game is boring.
Better now.
Better now.
Oh,
This league's wrong.
first time in 7 weeks. Thanks very much.
Yeah, it's been pretty relaxed, but I have to say my heart rate in this inning is very elevated.
Well, I don't want to point it out for any of the West Torrens fans watching at home, but Bianca Ramsey got 2 hits in the grand final 2 years ago. That was the difference. Let's see if she can get a shot in this game. Watches that first one in for a called strike. Now, Steph Trzynski was pretty dirty on herself after that base on balls to
Catcher does not
Kelsey
need
Barker.
Catcher does not need to call a drop or anything that'll go away from the catcher here. Just keep the ball up.
Swing and a miss for 2 strikes. Look, Chelsea Robinson's on deck, but there's no point because it's either going to be an out or a win right here for the Cats.
Oh, what a finish.
Looking.
What a
As
finish.
that one just brushes past the outside edge. Steph Trzynski holds her nerve. And in what was such a nerve-wracking game, a nerve-wracking finish. Look at that comment there, Steve Trzynski. We're on the same page. The former chairman of Softball SA. Oh, wow, what an ending. And although it was a 0-0 ball game, these two teams have played 13 innings for no runs over 2 contests. West Torrens remain undefeated. With that draw, they're 6 wins and 4 draws in 10 games for 16 points in the ladder. Walkerville Cats have now had their 2nd draw of the year. Both have come against this team, the West Torrens Eagles. They're 5 wins, 2 draws for 12 points. And the Sturt Falcons and Glenelg Rebels are sitting pretty now with an opportunity to try to catch these top 2 teams. And guys, what are your thoughts? Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the result. And let's talk about some statewide super performances.
Well, just talking about the pitches, James, Jesse had 6 strikeouts, Steph had 15. That's 1-5. Do you believe that?
Including that all-important game-ending strikeout, which was the 15th of the game.
Yeah, and fully composed at the end there too. I mean, Steph pitches very well composed out there. She's never in a rush. She never looks flustered, and you know that just worked in her favor at the end there